Okay. I think I'm live. I don't know if anybody's here yet. Live chat's open. Hopefully I will see it. If any of you lovely people come and talk to me, I am going to start spinning. We'll see how this goes. First ever live, and I have lost some fibre out of this packet. That's not good. Right, I'll have to track that down later. Oh my goodness. I'm just gonna sit and talk to myself for a bit until I know whether people are here or not. If you're here, say hello in the chat for me, because I don't know if I can tell otherwise. Sorry if this is really rustly for you, by the way, in the mic. I'm hoping once I get going with the spinning, I've got the mic closer to me than to the cat. No. Yes, I've got the mic closer to me than to the e-spinner. So hopefully you'll be able to hear me okay, and the noise in the spinner won't be too much for you. Actually, I'm going to change my camera angle so you can see what I'm spinning, and then if people turn up and I get chatty, I'll move it back. Bear with me a sec. Here we go. Sounds on, screens on. I don't want to exit. Hopefully live. Says I'm live. And stream is there. Just figuring out all the controls because this is the first time I've done this. Very first time that I've done this. I know there's not a huge amount for you to look at the moment. I will do other things, I promise. I'm just checking from my other YouTube account that this shows up as live. I hope it does. I don't know where I would find out. So I'm going to do a little bit of investigation. Sorry if you are watching and this is incredibly boring for you, but I'd assume you'd be commenting by now if you were here. So, oh, there I am. No, that's not me. That's somebody else. That's me. It does say that I'm live. Hey! Cool. Okay. I don't think it tells me that there's people here, but if I do that, and I saw it on my screen, cool. Okay, so I know that I'm live. I hope it's telling people that I'm live. Yeah, let me know if you're here. I'm gonna do some spinning. And I will stay on. I think I'm going to plan to stay on for about half an hour. And if people turn up and want me to stay longer, then maybe I will. If not, then I won't. I didn't check the volume actually on that. I hope I can be heard. Maybe I should do that too. Probably can't really see what my hands are doing at the moment, can you? There we go. Nope. I'm going to go that way. That way. And then you can see me drafting out this fibre ready to spin. I'm also going to turn my light up just a bit for you. There we go. Okay, I'm just going to mess around with my phone again for a minute. Let me know if you're here. Go back to my other account. And do that. And that's going to be weird because now I can hear myself. I can hear myself on my phone, right? But hey, at least I know that the volume's working. So that's cool. That's very cool. Now I wonder if I've done the thing that Sam did. Samantha did back when she first went live. And not set it right so nobody knows. But I don't know. So I'm just going to try. I've not plugged my spinner in. Helps. Sorry if that's really loud in your ears. This might be loud just while I faff about back here and plug myself in. E-spinner doesn't work if it doesn't have any E. Or in other words, electricity. It needs a bit of that to function. Oh, and now it's stuck on my tripod. Of course, didn't think that through. Try again. There we go. That should work. I'm going to keep an eye on the chat and hope that some people turn up, because at the moment I feel like I'm just talking into the ether. Again, if you're here and you're watching, please say something. Say hello in the chat for me so that I can see that you're here. Say hello, tell me who you are, tell me where you're from if we haven't spoken before. I'd love to get to know you. This is just a simple little live stream. I just thought I'd sit and chat to you while I spin. And yeah, that's it really. Now we'll talk about whatever comes to my mind. Let me know if you've got any questions. Yeah, this is just, I thought I'd do something a little bit different. It's a bit late, but this is to celebrate my podcast birthday. 3 years of podcasting, which was on the 17th of July. And my crochet anniversary, which was the 19th of July. And that marks 7 years since I first picked up a crochet hook. Look at me now. I don't know how long it's been since I started spinning. Couldn't tell you the exact date of that one either. I know that I've had my e-spinner for 18 months now, I think. So, e-spinning, 18 months. But I was doing drop spindle for a while before then, and I don't know how long that was. So, I'm sure somewhere I've got a record of, if not the first time, then near enough. Just realised I'd reduced the tension on this before I turned it off. Well, no, after I turned it off last night, and I didn't put it back on just now. I think it's been doing okay, but it's nice to have just a little bit more tension. There we go. It feels a bit more positive, a bit more useful. What time are we on? 10 past. So, is there anybody out there? If I can, I will save this to my channel. It might do it automatically. I cannot remember. I'm sure it said when I was looking up how to do all this. Yeah, so you'll be able to watch it back, even if you didn't weren't able to join me live. You'll be able to see it again. Let me know if you are watching it back. Drop a comment on it for me. And if you are watching it back and you weren't able to watch it live, if you were around at the right time but it didn't pop up for you, then let me know, because that will mean that I've done something wrong and I need to fix that for another time. I was running very slightly late today, and I ended up I had scheduled this. I scheduled it for 10 o'clock, and then I rescheduled it for 10:30 because I knew I was running late. But then manually went live because I was ready slightly sooner than I thought I would be at that particular time. So I don't know if that's messed with things, maybe. I don't know. I'll have to ask Samantha how she sorted it out. That's Samantha at Chaos and Kismet, by the way, who is a good friend of mine. We met through YouTube. Our mutual love of crochet brought us together, and all things yarny. So yeah, I love making yarny friends. So do say hi. If you're watching, do get in touch, because you never know. We might become friends too. Anyone, in my opinion, who loves yarn as much as I do must be a pretty cool person. That's my theory anyway. This is getting a bit bunched up. I might have to redraft in a minute. I was going to tell you all about it. I'll stop in a moment and I'll show you what I'm spinning. That's in the individual fibres. Obviously you can see me spinning it, but I'll show you what the makeup of it is. Let me pause there. I'll redraft that in a moment. Just adjust that slightly. So we have got a large pack of black Blueface Leicester. I won't be using all of that this time. That's a pack that I bought for the purpose of blending. And then this beautiful fibre, which is day 15 of the World of Wool Advent from last year. Ooh, that way. There we go. This is called Figgy Duff. And I can't remember what the composition of that is now. Bear with, and I shall find the information for you. Oh yeah, it's a relatively simple one. So Figgy Duff is 80% merino and 20% rose fibre, which makes it really, really soft. And if you haven't ever worked with rose fibre before, it behaves quite a lot like silk. Somewhere between, well, certain types of silk and bamboo. It's a plant-based viscose, just like bamboo. It has slightly different properties, but it's very similar in terms of how it behaves. I love how many different plant fibres there are these days. There's obviously there's bamboo, and there's things like flax and tencel and sea cell and all that sort of thing. Linen, cotton, they are plant fibres. But there's also now, there's rose fibre, there's mint fibre that I've worked with, there's pineapple fibre. What's the other one? There was a blend I had that had pineapple in it, and it had something else as well. no, I can't remember what it was. But there's so many different ones. And they're all beautiful. They're really good, actually, if you want to create a yarn that's suitable for socks, something that's a little bit more hard wearing, but you don't want to use nylon. Then adding one of these plant fibres instead, it works in a very similar way. I don't think it's quite as sturdy as nylon, but I might be wrong. And if not, it's a very, very good substitute. It's almost as good. And yeah, I love working with these plant fibres. I love the added texture that it gives. And they are usually cheaper than things like silk, but behave, as I've said, in a very similar way, which is nice. You see my hands, sort of. I don't want to lift the camera too much because then it's just boob. Boob and occasional flashes of chin, which nobody wants. If I come forward a bit. There we go. You can see my hands better now. Doesn't mean I'm a bit closer to the machine, which isn't ideal, probably for the sound. It isn't really ideal for how I'm working either, but it's okay. It's all fine. See how that's looking on the bobbin. Look how pretty it is. Look at it. Love these colours. I can get more on there before I need to adjust. Still nobody in the chat. I'm hoping that it is that I've done something wrong and not that everyone's ignoring me. It's the self-pity coming out. My tendency is always to assume that just nobody wants to watch me. I'm absolutely thrilled every time I get a view on one of my pre-recorded videos, my podcasts or whatever. It always makes me really happy. So I'm going to assume that I did do something wrong, and that for some reason people haven't been notified about the fact that I'm going live. Like I said, I shall talk to Samantha about it and see what I've done wrong. It'll be something simple. There'll be a button that I didn't press. I was going to leave the door open a bit so that the cats could come in and out if they wanted to. But then you also get the additional background noise of my husband going to bed and things like that. So therefore I'd leave it closed. If they're out there and they really want to come in, then they will let me know. They're not shy about it, either one of them. They're settling, Neris, our older cat, she's still not particularly happy about the new addition to the household, which I can't really blame her for, to be honest. But she's starting to mellow a little bit, I think. Obviously, when he's trying to play with her and she's not in the mood, which is every time that he's trying to play with her, then she hisses and growls and all the rest of it. And sometimes she hisses at him anyway. Even when he's just sat there minding his own business, she'll walk past him and hiss. But she's doing that less than she was. I was in Ned's room just before this, helping him get to sleep. That's why I'm late. And Mal has the run of the house now, just in the same way that Neris does most of the time. Not overnight, because we're still not letting him out at night. But during the day, he can go wherever he wants. And that is basically up until whenever Kelvin goes to bed. Now. And he runs in and out of Ned's room like a mad thing at this time, the time that Ned's going to bed. Because he's a kitten and, they're crazy. And he gets the zoomies as the sun's going down. And usually that means that Neris won't come into Ned's room anymore at bedtime, which she used to do all the time. Tonight, she came in and Mal followed her, I think. I think that's the way around that it happened, based on the interaction. I had my back to the door, so I didn't see. And there was a little bit of growling, but not a lot. When I turned around, because I heard her, she was meowing at me to get my attention. And she was round my feet by the bed. And he was just sat on the other side of the room watching. And as long as he stayed still, she was okay with that. And I lifted her up onto Ned's bed. He's got one of those cabin beds, so it's a little bit taller. And she's got bad back legs, so I tend to lift her up these days. Where was I going with that thought? It's just gone. Yeah, I've done really well this evening with keeping my thoughts in order, and all of a sudden it's gone. Yeah, I lifted her up, and she had a little prowl about, as she does, and started to get comfy. And then Mal tried to come up too, and she wasn't having that. Every time he tried to jump up, she'd growl at him, and she battered at him at one point, actually. But then I think he was still in the room, and she just settled down nicely on Ned's bed for a bit. So that was really lovely, and that's definite progress, which is what we want. We want progress. So yeah, it's coming. And yeah, Mal can go outside as when he wants during the day now. I don't think he's really figured out the cat flap. If we show him and we sort of open it a little bit for him, he'll go through it quite happily. And he knows the garden now, he knows the front garden a bit as well, he knows how to get down the side of the house, which is where the cat flap is. But I don't think he can actually push it. It's one of those chip activated ones, so there's just a little bit of extra resistance when you first go for it. So it's a little bit annoying, because I don't want him to get stuck outside, but I also don't want to stop him going outside. Do you know what I mean? So I don't know, we need to try and figure out if that is the problem, if it is that he's not strong enough, or if he's just being dense, because it's entirely possible that he just hasn't figured it out. We'll keep showing him, and yeah, I'm sure at some point it will click. He's getting bigger every day. He was so tiny when we got him, and he's still not fully grown up by a long shot, but he's easily 3 times the size he was when we got him, and that was 2.5 months ago. He's over 6 months old now. Just over. In fact, 6 months and a week, 2 weeks, something like that. So, yeah. Anyway, that's them. What time are we on now? Oh, nearly 25 past. So yeah, I'll do another 5 minutes. Actually, no, I'm not going to be that strict about it. I'm going to finish this little bit of spinning, and then I will stop this live, because I don't think there's anyone else here, which makes it, no offense to anyone who is watching, but it's not entirely worthwhile if nobody's here. So again, if you are, please say so in the chat before I disappear on you. And if the reason you're not watching is, like I said, because I've done something wrong, then I'm sorry. And I will try and figure it out, and I'll do another one of these sometime soon. I don't know when. I would say I'll make it a regular thing, but life doesn't always work out like that, does it? So I'm not going to promise anything. So I do a bit of investigating when I've finished. And when I've said goodbye and ended this, I shall investigate and see if I can figure out what's happened. And if not, I'll text Samantha and go, help, what did I do? What did I do wrong? I scheduled it, and I thought I'd gone through all the options and clicked all the right buttons. But maybe I didn't. Maybe I didn't. We shall see. Almost done. Oh, lovely purpley bit there. Pink, purple, I don't know. One of those. Oh, that's gone too far. It's more pink than purple, isn't it? Okay, I've got a little bit of thick there as well. I want to keep this nice and thin. There we go. Alright, that's the end of that bit. So I will, of course, be doing more spinning, but that'll do for now. Tilt you back up. Hello. Okay, if you have been watching, thank you for joining me. If you haven't made it to the live, but you have watched it back, thank you very much for watching. I appreciate it. Please let me know if that's the case, like I said. Yeah, I guess I messed up. Never mind. We live and learn, right? Yeah, like I said, I'll do another one of these at some point. If people want me to, let me know. And until then, let me find the end live button before I actually say goodbye. Oh my god, I can't see it because it's all the way at the end stream. There it is. Thank you for watching, if you have done. And I'll be back with you again at some point soon. Bye for now, and take care. And.